The world is changing, quietly. 2 months ago, the US dollar hit another record low in global reserves. Central banks are selling, nations are diversifying, and the same headlines keep repeating, "Don't worry, the dollar will be fine." But history never repeats the warning, it repeats the pattern. Every empire said the same words. Rome, Britain, Spain, they said our currency was too strong to fail. Until one day, it wasn't. Because what collapsed first isn't the money, it's the trust behind it. This isn't about panic. It's about understanding what happens when a system runs out of credibility and how to see the truth before it's too late. Chapter 1: The Currency of Confidence. The dollar was never just money, it was a story, a collective belief that this green paper equals safety, power, and permanence. For decades, the world believed it. America dominated global trade. The dollar became the bridge of every deal, the blood of every market. Oil, commodities, loans, all priced in dollars. But power built on belief has an expiration date, and right now, that belief is wearing thin. When the US prints trillions to save markets, it doesn't strengthen confidence, it dilutes it. When politicians raise debt ceilings endlessly, they don't fix the problem, they push it forward. Confidence is like gravity. When it holds, you don't notice it. When it breaks, everything falls at once. Chapter 2: The Mechanism of Quiet Collapse. Currencies don't die in chaos, they die in silence. It starts small, temporary stimulus, then manageable inflation, then necessary debt, until one day you realize the system has been eating itself, slowly. Every new dollar created lowers the value of every dollar saved, and yet the government calls this progress. Inflation isn't an accident, it's a transfer of wealth, from those who save to those who spend, from those who earn wages to those who own assets, from the cautious to the leveraged. That's why the rich don't fear inflation. They use it. Because when your money buys ownership, inflation makes you richer. When your money sits still, inflation makes you poorer. The collapse doesn't happen when the dollar vanishes. It happens when your purchasing power does, quietly, invisibly, permanently. Chapter 3: The Global Shift Nobody Wants to Admit. For the first time in 80 years, countries are openly preparing for life after the dollar. China is trading oil in yuan. Russia, India, and Brazil are building currency alliances. Saudi Arabia is reconsidering its petrodollar loyalty. And central banks, the insiders of the global game, are buying record levels of gold. They aren't guessing, they're hedging. Because they know what happens when the world starts doubting one currency. Trade slowly diversifies, demand quietly declines, and the global reserve becomes just another local currency. The British pound ruled for 105 years before the dollar replaced it. The dollar has now ruled for almost the same length of time. Every currency follows the same path: rise, dominance, overconfidence, decline. The only variable is the timeline, and the US is running out of it. Chapter 4: The Psychology of Denial. Still, most people don't want to believe it, because believing means accepting that their savings, retirement, and security might be built on sand. That's why they tell themselves stories. It's just a cycle. It always recovers. America will never default. But history doesn't care about optimism, it cares about math. The math says the US can't grow out of its debt, it can only inflate it away. And that means every citizen pays, not through taxes, but through silent depreciation of their money. The tragedy is psychological. People don't notice what they're losing because the system rewards their stillness. You're praised for saving, you're called responsible for holding cash. But responsibility without awareness is obedience, and obedience keeps the machine running. Chapter 5: How the Rich Prepare and Why You Don't See It. The rich never wait for collapse. They rotate before it happens. When they see currency weakening, they shift into hard assets: real estate, commodities, infrastructure, productive companies. When the crowd FOMOs into hype, AI, crypto, tech bubbles, the elite quietly rotate into what's undervalued, forgotten, or cyclical. They don't chase headlines, they chase value migration. They know every system has a season. When money leaves the old system, it doesn't disappear, it flows into the new one. That's how wealth survives resets, by moving before the story changes. The poor react, the middle class argues, the rich reposition. That's why crisis doesn't make the rich panic, it makes them richer. Because they understand the real game. When paper loses power, ownership becomes the currency. Chapter 6: The Shift That's Already Happening. Most people are still waiting for a collapse headline. But what if it's already happening in slow motion? The dollar's decline isn't about a single crash, it's a transition of trust. From governments to corporations, from central banks to digital systems, from savings to sovereignty. We're watching it unfold right now. Tech giants issuing their own payment systems, nations experimenting with central bank digital currencies, people holding assets, not cash. This is what collapse looks like in 2025. Not explosions, but evolution. And the irony, the same system that inflated your fears is now teaching you how to outgrow it. Because as power decentralizes, control weakens. And that's exactly where opportunity is born. The new economy won't belong to those who panic, it'll belong to those who prepare quietly. The question isn't, will the dollar fall? It's what will rise when it does. Those who understand this shift early will stop fearing the end and start positioning for the beginning. Final truth: the dollar's collapse isn't just about money, it's about evolution, of value, of systems, and of awareness. When you stop seeing collapse as destruction, you start seeing it as redistribution of power, wealth, and understanding. Empires fade, currencies reset, but clarity that compounds forever. If you want to learn how the financial system transfers wealth through trust, illusion, and design, and how to position yourself for the next cycle instead of fearing it, get the Money Mirror Playbook. It's available on Shopify, link in the description. Because once you understand how money truly moves, you stop chasing stability and start building sovereignty. The mirror never lies. His question is, will you see the truth before the story changes again?